Welcome, Regis Jesuit soccer fans, to Lou Kellogg Stadium for tonight's matchup between your very own Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Highlands Ranch Falcons. Steven Snyder here with my co-commentator Joe Quigley, my cameraman Joey Bonnell, my producer Joe Quigley, and it's great to have you here, folks. If you're tuning in, hopefully, if you are tuned in right now, tell your friends to tune in, tell your neighbors, tell your grandparents, because this is going to be a thriller here tonight. Joe, great to have you here.
It's great to be here, Steven. I absolutely love watching Regis soccer under these lights. It's a gorgeous pitch tonight, and the Raiders are looking fantastic.
Couple interesting notes for you to start the game. Starting in goal will be the fourth goalie the Raiders have used all season, Drew Schmidt, who actually is used to playing midfield. Very interesting choice here, Joe.
Right you are, Steven, and we're going to take a quick break for our national anthem. We'll be back in a few minutes.
And welcome back to Lou Kellogg Stadium, Regis Jesuit soccer fans, for this matchup between your very own Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Highlands Ranch Falcons. As we mentioned before the quick break, Drew Schmidt starting in goal. Normally, he's a defensive midfielder, isn't he, Joe?
Yes, he is. He's a very strong defensive midfielder, too. He definitely makes his presence known, winning those 50-50 balls out in the middle of the field. We'll see how he fares in goal tonight. Coach Walls, we are making the ultimate decision to start Drew tonight over his three normal goalies, Brian Cromie, Steven Shahara, and Jeff Keiss.
What's going through the mind of Coach Walsweir?
After the last game against Vista, Steven Shahara let in a very easy goal, to say in the best way I can. It fell right to the player from Vista, and he put it in the goal right inside the six. It was absolutely demoralizing for the Raiders. And Coach Walsweir was not very happy with that performance. In the game prior to that, Brian Cromie let a shot in between his legs, and he still doesn't believe in Jeff Keiss' ability, even if he's only a sophomore.
Very interesting here. Drew Schmidt, a senior. We'll have to see as the Regis Raiders starting lineup being announced. Cyrus Bebahani starting tonight. That's his first start, isn't it, Joe?
Yes, it is. And followed up by Mitch Rossi. Good to see him back in the starting lineup.
I think Cyrus is starting in place of Drew Schmidt. Would you say so? He's a very defensive-minded player like Drew.
I would agree with that. He's got a textbook slide tackle. Definitely a strong defensive player. Hopefully he can feel those big shoes of Drew Schmidt.
And we'll see here. Love to see Adam Mania. I believe he's the top scorer for the Raiders this season, isn't he, Joe?
I believe that is correct, Steven. He is definitely the top goal scorer, although we do have a lot of great offensive production from the players around him.
Good to see Brandon Inbow back in the lineup after that 2-game suspension. One for the red card, one for some action after the red card. But great to see him back after 2-game suspension. He's really key to the Raiders team.
Absolutely. He is the rock on defense. And Joe Langander, for a sophomore, also getting his first start of the season tonight. It's good to see him and see what he has to show. Shut up.
The officials for tonight's game, in the center, Mr. Richard.
Okay, so we'll see here. Fans trickle into Lou Kellogg. Our crowd building to just over 25 here. Looks like we're going to have some good attendance tonight. So we'll see here what the Raiders can do. What are the Raiders' keys to the game tonight, Joe?
Possess the ball and don't be rushed. They have to take their time on offense. They have to control the ball in the midfield, in their own defensive zone, and on the offense. They have to hold on to that and score their goals early, because if they get down quick, it's going to be very hard for them to come back.
Indeed. And I completely agree with those. And what about the Highlands Ranch Falcons, Joe?
They need to run and gun on this Raiders offense. They need to absolutely run them into the ground. They need to be a quick team if they want to get past this defense.
And before we start the game, quick shout out to our very own Father Dyer, who was up here having some fun with us with the broadcast gear before. Really great man. I absolutely love Father Dyer, Joe, and just wanted to give him that shout out before the game started as he requested.
Father Dyer is an absolutely wonderful man. Gotta give him props. And tonight we're gonna be starting. It's gonna be Highlands Ranch Ball because they are the visitors, and we'll get this game underway very soon.
What do you, again, going back, I don't think we got through it. The keys for Highlands Ranch for tonight's game?
Run and gun. Get up quick, run and gun. Run these Raiders into the ground. That's basically what it comes down to.
And I really think controlling the ball with that run and gun is key, because we saw the run and gun of Pine Creek not be able to, so we'll see here. I think for the Raiders, it's about possession, Joe, because as we see with the Raiders, when they can control, they win. Like with Pine Creek, they had the run and gun offense, but they didn't have the possession.
That is 100% accurate, and the game is underway. Let's see what the Raiders can do tonight.
Trey Ahern has it on the far wing. He's going to pass it up to Adam Mania. Adam Mania flicks it across the middle. Cyrus Bibahani, gets it back to Adam Mania. Adam Mania with a cross, but Matt Muniz not able to get that. Mitch Rossi heading it up. Matt Muniz not able to get there either, but the Highlands Ranch player gives it right back to him. Pass to number 15 for the Raiders. Oh, big cross, but Luis could not get his head on that. Highlands Ranch is going to be able to clear. Very close call there. It looked like Luis was going to have it. Joe Langendorfer actually starting for the Raiders, as we see there. Another addition.
It's good to see all these new faces in the Raiders lineup, see what they can do for this offense, this defense, see if they can get some wins out there.
Highlands Ranch getting a little caught up in their footwork, sitting around the 25-yard out mark. And Highlands Ranch, great control so far. Trying to get it inside. Number 24 for Highlands Ranch with a cross, but headed out by Brandon Imbow. And it looks like Highlands Ranch is going to favor some wing play there for number 24, who is not on our roster.
Sometimes that happens, so for the rest of the night, he will be mystery number 24.
All right. Cross here by Highlands Ranch. It's going to be headed, but headed back across. Jack Flynn trying to get it out. Cyrus can't get it out. Brandon Inbow tenaciously staying after it. Interesting, Joe, I just noticed Connor Walsh isn't on the field.
Good observation, Steven. I don't have an answer for that. Maybe they're just looking to give a completely new defensive look behind Drew Schmidt. Maybe we'll see him later in the midfield.
I really don't like that call. I think Connor Walsh, one of the more talented players on this Regis Jesuit team.
He's really turned into key production for the midfield for the Raiders. He started out at defense. Coach Wolf tried him in the midfield, and he's been making moves ever since.
So, really interesting call here. Highlands Ranch going to kick it off. Father Dyer back up here to join us, as we mentioned earlier. Love having him up here. He's real fun to broadcast with up here.
He's just a great stand-up guy.
So, Raiders working up the wing. Adam Mania able to control, running up the wing. Does beat number 15 for the Falcons, Chris DeMarco, but that'll be turned over. And we'll see what Highlands Ranch can do here, getting it up to our mystery man. But turned over quickly to Mitch Rossi. Mitch Rossi on the run.
Some beautiful skill moves from Mitch over in the corner, doing some scissors, trying to flick it in between two defenders, gets dispossessed, and now the Raiders are going to try to win it back.
Looks like he really lost it there. He didn't really have anybody to go to. Highlands Ranch looking to clear. Langendorfer can't get it. Imbau's not going to be able to control it, but Jack Flynn will. 3-layer defense for the Raiders, really working for him.
I think that's second game nerves from Joe Langendorfer. He's only a sophomore. It's his second year on varsity, but he hadn't seen a lot of play time last year, but hopefully we'll see him work out those kinks soon.
And we'll see here, quick give and go by Mitch Rossi. Finds a through ball to Adam Mania, but Adam Mania is not going to be able to get there. Imbau just put that a little too far ahead of him, Joe.
You know, I would have liked to see a little bit more hustle out of Adam out of that play. He saw it, knew it was going to be too far, and he just quit. But I think he could have gotten it had he turned on the jets.
Yeah, we'll see here. I think Raiders really working with some Raiders usually not a team to have problems with stamina, so really an interesting call there by Adam.
Yeah, they are one of the best conditioned teams in the state, without a doubt.
See here, Highlands Ranch and Regis fighting for the ball. Cyrus Bibahani not able to get it. Great skill move by Highlands Ranch, but Cyrus is there again. And Mitch Rossi going to be able to clear. That's going to go up the wing. Christian Nays chasing number 7 for the Falcons. Roberto Velasquez. That'll be kicked out. Regis ball. We'll see if they can produce anything here. Oh, quick throw, but given away.
I would have liked to see the Raiders do one of their big throw-ins there, looking for essentially a cross out of a throw and maybe get some quick offense like they did in the first few seconds of this game.
Langendorfer almost gives it away, but Brandon Inbow there to save him. Gives it up to Munez, who's not going to be able to get it. Knocked away by number 7, Velasquez, excuse me.
And the referee has stopped play. I think he wants to send the ball back closer to where it went out of bounds. Joe Langendorfer is going to be throwing it in for the Raiders.
You don't see that much in soccer.
It's good to see from the ref, though, keeping this game in line. And there he goes again, telling him to back up even farther. This is going to be a strict ref tonight, Steven.
I think Joe keeps walking forward. So finally good throw in. Luis able to control some skill moves. Held up a little. Oh, but not giving up. But that's going to be out for a Highlands Ranch Falcon ball.
Cyrus didn't believe that was Falcon ball. He definitely thought that was for the Raiders. And there appears to be 2 balls on the field, and it's not taken care of by the ball boy.
Here we go. Velasquez. Great play through number 19. My roster's all over the place. Luis Castaneda. That'll go out of bounds for a Regis goal kick.
And maybe we'll see Drew Schmidt taking these goal kicks tonight. We often see Brandon Inbound take them, but maybe Drew can do it. And here comes Brandon, just as usual.
And so we'll see here what the Raiders can do. Cyrus controlling it in the midfield, finds Mitch Rossi with that fantastic new haircut.
Looking absolutely great with that new haircut.
And we'll see here. Highlands Ranch really content to hold the ball and give Regis as little possession as they want. Jack Flynn going to flick it over. Mitch Rossi not going to be able to control. Falcons will control at midfield. Looking for a player, and he will find it. Highlands Ranch rushing down. And they will lose that. They'll have to pass it back. Highlands Ranch really more concerned about possession than taking shots.
Highlands Ranch definitely is trying to hold on to this ball, but the way they're doing it isn't with short passes, the typical manner of holding on to the ball. They've been sending these big, long passes in the air, looking for long crosses and through balls, and it's working for them, but I've not seen this very often, Steven. And that's cleared out very effectively by Joe Langendorfer. It can be a Falcon throw-in.
And I think the Falcons can really utilize it here, but really concerned about the Falcons' style of play. It's almost like they're trying to uncondition the Raiders, and as we discussed, that's a very hard thing to do.
Absolutely. The keys to the game for them is run and gun the Raiders, but that ain't easy.
And we'll see here Christian Days controlling it. Looking, and he finds Luis Hernandez, and that'll be a foul. Handball, I believe, on Highlands Ranch.
I believe that is also the case. We're going to see another long cross from Brandon Inbow. You think he's looking to put it square in the box?
I think so with his leg, Joe. I can't see another explanation.
It often works very well from him, too. People get to that ball, and they get heads on and get their chances.
Oh, Langendorfer not able to get there.
He wants that back. He knew he could have had a goal if he was right there for it.
And that was actually offside by Langendorfer there, Joe. So we'll see what happens here. Shout out to our two shadows for the broadcast crew, getting some new faces in here. Dean Hampers and Nick Valeni. So, really great to have them here, Joe, and we love expanding our program.
Absolutely. We love building the program because right now our core broadcast team is full of seniors and myself. So it's good to see a bunch of new kids coming out, learning how to do it, and keep this program going.
Matt Muniz controlling it on the side. Luis there to bail him out. And Luis, great fake. And he's going to have it. Gets it through to Mitch Rossi. Mitch Rossi not able to control, but back to Muniz, who tries to put it through. Luis Hernandez on the control. Can't get it to Mitch Rossi. But Cyrus controls it. Cyrus looking for a through ball to Adam Mania, and he will get it by the Highland. Oh,
He is offside. The ref put his flag up as soon as the ball was struck. But I do like Adam Mania finishing that play. Starting to see a little bit more hustle. And we have Ian Sheldon checking in for the Raiders. Another interesting addition. He normally starts, right, Steven?
Yes, he usually starts on the wing. Matt Muniz taking his place tonight. So, very interesting lineup here for the Raiders. Hasn't hurt them, but it hasn't helped them early on.
Seeing a whole bunch of new faces out of the Raiders, and, it looks like it's working out all right for them. They haven't given up anything easy, and it seems like they're playing pretty well.
That'll be Raiders ball. I don't know the call there, Joe.
I believe it's just
anything.
a simple foul. Didn't get the ball when he went on his tackle.
Fair enough. Out of bounds for a Highlands Range Falcon ball. And we'll see here, Highlands Range controlling it around midfield. Cyrus Bibahani going to intercept, finds Luis Hernandez. Luis looking, finds Christian Nays in the middle. Christian Nays finds a through ball to Adam Mania. Matt Muniz filling the box. Adam Mania gets the cross, but that'll be deflected for a Regis Jesuit corner kick with 30 minutes left to go in this first half.
That's the kind of offense you want to see from the Raiders, sending those long through balls down to the corner and looking for a cross. And in here we have Ian Sheldon on for Matt Muniz. Ian's a very powerful player. Definitely is very physical and works out for him quite often. It's good to see what he has to show.
And Davis Cook coming in for our mystery man, number 24 for the Highlands Ranch Falcons. So we'll see here what the Raiders can do with this corner kick. Maybe get it across. I'd look for Luis Hernandez for the header, but he's not even in the box.
Looks like they're looking for Mitch Rossi. He gets his head to it, and he sends it out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick for the Falcons.
Really disappointing that for the Raiders. You got to get up early, Joe. That's the way the Raiders play. They like being chased, and they aren't a very good team that does the chasing. Excuse me. Playing from behind is not their strength.
That is correct. And Mitch Rossi, very undervalued in the air, I feel, on this team. He's very effective when he gets up there. He's not the tallest player, but when he gets his head on the ball, he is deadly with it.
And punted away by the Falcons goalkeeper, number 1, Lex Bukowski. So, pretty sure it's Lex at least. They have 2 senior goalkeepers. So, Highlands Ranch working a little triangle, but no can do. And on the Raider Airways, we know that as the Barcelona triangle.
Oh, Barcelona ball. Staple offense of the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
And really surprising. I think we see the Raiders actually, well, it seems to be the stable offense against the Regis Jesuit Raiders. We've seen 3 teams run it now, Pine Creek Heritage and now the Highlands Ranch Falcons. But I think the Raiders play closer to a German style with a lot of speed and long passes.
They definitely have a mix of those 2 styles out there. They play quick passes just like Barcelona, but they can run with the best of them just like those German teams.
And that's the key for a German squad here. What the Raiders use is a very fast defense.
And Luis Hernandez trying to get the ball crossed in, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders.
Another corner?
Yes, it is. I believe Ian Sheldon will be taking this one.
I really like to see Luis stay in the box. He's got such a great head. He's undervalued just like Mitch Rossi, I think.
Not only is Luis deadly from the head aspect of this game, he can get to those ridiculous balls with a bicycle kick or a scissor kick. He can get there. He's definitely acrobatic for it.
Christian Nays just missing, and that'll trickle out of bounds. You know who we're missing here on these corner kicks is Connor Walsh. Still not in the game, Joe.
Interesting to see that. Hopefully he comes in kind of soon. He definitely likes to run and gun for the Raiders, get a lot of balls in the midfield, and send them to the offense. Trey Ahern controlling the ball up on the wing, sends a cross in, cleared out by Falcons go back to Langendorf, who puts a big ball in, looking for Ian Sheldon, gets his head to it, and it's going to be to the corner. Luis Hernandez chasing it down and out of bounds.
Oh, and that was perfect. That went right to Mitch Rossi. Really sad that went out of bounds because Luis had a great play on that, and he always has fantastic plays. The footwork on Luis is just impeccable.
Absolutely magnificent. And with 26 minutes left in this first half, Falcons have a goal kick, and we're seeming to have a lot more fans trickle into the stadium as the game goes on.
I think we're up around 80 now, Joe, so fantastic, especially for a Tuesday night game.
Absolutely. It's good to see them out here supporting either the Raiders or the Falcons. It's good to see all the support for the soccer game.
So we'll see here. Believe it's a Falcon throw-in.
Yes, it is. And you think they're going to play a quick little short one?
No, I think they're going to play a long one towards the top of the box.
Your powers of intuition are remarkable.
So Highlands Ranch bringing it up the wing and tries to cross it right off Trey Ahern for a corner kick. Oh, heads up. Almost in the snack shack there.
Right you are. And we're going to have another corner kick for the Falcons. They haven't really been too deadly off these corner kicks. You kind of expect that at the varsity level.
Neither team have, and these set pieces are absolutely key, so we'll see what the Falcons do here, and absolutely pitiful. Easily cleared by Brendan Imbow, and Falcons will be playing chase. Bad control, and I believe that went off Falcon player, which makes it a Raider ball. I think Raiders need to run here. They need to go, and indeed they are.
And it's cut out, and that is not what the Raiders needed. They needed to run that and keep it.
And here they go again. Trey Ahern with another. Christian Nays trying to flick it on, but no can do. Brendan Imbow stops, but Highlands Ranch able to control, but Trey Ahern gets it back. And just cleared by Mitch Rossi. He says, get that out of here and start fresh.
It's good play from Mitch, letting his defense reset, get their nerves, and get their line.
Jack Flynn battling for the ball, and he's going to get it up to Adam Mania, who heads it back. Quick shot by Highlands Ranch, but that's not even going to go out of bounds inside the 18. Actually, so I don't know if that was a cross or a shot. It looked like a shot.
I think he wanted it to be a shot, but let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's a cross.
Fair enough. Poor cross there from the Highlands Ranch player. So Brandon Imbow with the goal kick. And he's going to give it to Ian Shelton, who tries to flick it on, can't quite do it. Christian Nays fighting for the ball.
And there you see Ian Shelton's physical play. He just ran in between three Falcon players trying to win that ball, and they didn't really question it.
Great play there by Highlands Ranch, but they aren't letting anything through. They don't want to run with it. I think they're scared of the speed of the German-style-oriented Regis defense.
This Regis defense is also rock solid. Not only are they incredibly fast, but they're incredibly technically sound back there. And there's Drew Schmidt's first touch as a keeper of his senior season, and he launches it downfield looking for Ian Sheldon.
And Ian Sheldon not quite able to get to that one. Is Drew Schmidt more of a catch goalie, whereas our other three are parries?
I think that's the goal, because all three of our goalies like to parry the ball, and that's what's been giving up them easy goals. So I think Walls is looking for someone who will catch the ball and possess it.
And that's the style I played in my younger days when I played goalie, Joe, is you get that ball and you hold on to it, because I don't want that in the hands of the other team. And I feel like that wasn't an issue until it became a huge issue with the Raiders this season.
I think it's because all three of these goalies, this is their first year on varsity. They're not used to the speed of the shots coming from these varsity players, so they're not as prepared to catch it as they could be. I feel like next year it's going to be a lot better.
And we hope so, Joe. Falcons, interesting shot. It's almost like Heritage when on our last game we broadcast just saying, hey, we'll take a shot. The disrespect there.
At that game,
Regis, I would be offended at that shot.
Only a little bit, because at the Heritage game, Steven Shahara practically had a broken thumb. However, I believe Drew Schmidt is 100% healthy.
Indeed. So we'll see if the Raiders can turn this around. Trey Ahern can't quite find Drew Schmidt. But Connor Walsh is on the field. Hooray. I'm now content because I believe he should have been on the field the whole time.
It's good to see him in there, see what he can do for this Raider midfield. They seem seems both teams come out a little flat in these first 20 minutes with 21 remaining in this first half. What do you think the coaches are, discussing on the sidelines?
I think both coaches are completely content. Highlands Branch is getting to play its slow possession. Regis is going to play its run and gun. And they're both just waiting for the opportunities. I can't see the manager being angry at anything.
If I was a manager right now, I'd be more puzzled than anything because Raiders are known to score in the first half, even sometimes in the first minute of the game, like we saw at Heritage. And they haven't put up too many deadly chances on this Highlands Ranch team, but they've put up their chances.
And I think their two real deadly chances were called offsides by this tough reffing crew that we mentioned earlier. And that's just the style of the game. Raiders are going to have to adjust to that because the ref's not going to change his style mid-game.
No, he's not. That's part of being a good team is being able to adjust to whatever referee you get.
Through ball to Ian Shelton, who is absolutely hauling, and I believe that's a corner kick. Wow, he got all the way down there and kicked it off a player. He is so fast.
That is a great play from Ian Sheldon. That's hustle winning another possession and a corner kick from the Raiders looking to get something going, maybe a quick goal or even just knocking on this goalie's door. And we haven't seen this goalie tested too much tonight. Here comes the cross, and it's a goal for the Raiders!
I believe that was Christian Nays with the header. I think I just kind of deflected off him and having to trickle in. Terrible defense and goalkeeping by the Highlands Ranch Falcons. And if you're the Raiders, you're saying thank you, and I'll send you a birthday gift eventually too.
Right, you are, Steven. And, just as we say that both teams hasn't really had a lot of chances, there's a goal for us. And, it's good to see the Raiders in their typical fashion scoring in the first half, even with this new lineup.
So we'll see here how Highlands Ranch rebounds if they keep their iffy style of play going. Ian Shelton dispossesses a Highlands Ranch defender and gets through. Looking for Christian Nays in the middle, cut it back, but the Highlands Ranch defense was there waiting. So we'll see here. Oh, big cross by Adam Mania into the box. Highlands Ranch goalie watches that down and allows it to go out for a goal kick.
I think that was a smart play. You don't take the goal kick, reset the entire field, take your time, and just get it out of your zone after that goal.
So we will see here what Highlands Ranch does. Joe, what do they need to change?
They need to get some shots on goal. They get the ball down to the 20-yard line, right around the 18 sometimes, and they lose it. They haven't had a lot of shots on goal, except for from really far distance that Drew is just eaten up.
So I really don't think Highlands Ranch is a run and gun team like we said, Joe. Is there any way they can adapt their style to be an advantage?
I think that if they don't run and gun, which would definitely be the most effective, they could just start playing really, really technically sound slow soccer. Make sure they hold on to the ball and don't let the Raiders get those fast breaks.
We'll see here Adam Mania dispossessing a Falcon in the midfield. Finds Luis Hernandez. Luis, found a through ball to a non-running Ian Shelton, and the Falcons will take over. Falcons cutting it back. Joe, I think they just need to move the ball forward, not backward.
Absolutely. And there's a shot from the Falcons, number 10, Zach Mass, and it is wide of the mark. They have not been on target with their few shots tonight, Steven.
And, Joe, I haven't seen a ball go out of bounds within 10 feet of one of the posts for the Falcons. So, really interesting here. I don't know if I want to call them shots because that's almost insulting to the players.
And we have Andrew Skiles on for the Falcons, in for Zach Mass, who just took that shot. Do you think the manager's a little upset with this choice there?
I think he is, Joe, because he was the one that took the shot earlier that went way wide. So I think the manager's saying, hey, what's going on? Pass it off.
And Connor Walsh in the midfield, definitely making his presence known, making some good decisions with the ball, holding on to it.
Oh, Adam Mania slipped there, and that'll be a Highlands Ranch Falcon throw-in. And again, a stickler on the throw-in spot. This referee, that's one of his pet peeves, Joe. You can tell.
Absolutely. Oftentimes you'll see ref give 10 to 15-yard leeway on that throw-in spot, but he is on point with it.
Oh, Falcons getting some space. Finds number 14 who tries to shoot, can't do it. And Mitch Rossi dispossesses him. And great shooting chance with no shot there for the Falcons.
Correct, Steven. And something I've noticed about this Falcon offense, they haven't been working this near side, their left side of the offense too much out of number 18, Davis Cook. They haven't really even, thought about going near side. Do you think they're favoring their right side of their players? Do you think they're all right-footed?
I can see that as the only option because every time it gets near the left side, they say, let's go back to the right side.
I think a switch of the field would be very, very beneficial for these Falcons. Definitely give them a new look. And checking in for the Falcons, we have number 6, Andrew Skiles, just back on, and out comes Davis Cook.
Didn't he just come on? Or was that number 9?
Pardon me, that was number 9 that just came on, Kyle Dythorn. Pardon me.
Dythorn and Skiles are on the field. I think that's all we needed now.
And an official timeout. We have an injured Raider down the field, and it's Brandon Inbow. He doesn't look like he's walking on his left ankle too well. He seems to be, on his feet, moving around, but it doesn't look too good. And you think he's going to make it to the sideline on his own?
I think he will. It looks like he's going to. Really disappointing for him after a 2-game suspension to come back in, play 23 minutes of a game, and then say, oh, you're back on the bench with an injury. So it'll be interesting to see who the Raiders bring in for him.
Looks like it's going to be 21, Matt Muniz. He seems to be the only player on the bench who's even moving around.
Nope.
And Cyrus Bebahani instead.
Really, Matt's got to be disappointed there. I think the coach might have said he might be going in and then just said, Cyrus, let's go. So
And Cyrus was ready.
Cyrus, I don't know if he just isn't quite warmed up or something, but he has kind of an awkward hobble going on.
And there's a big cross to no one in the right-hand corner. That's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders.
I think that was another shot, Joe. I hate to say it.
Oh, dear, Steven. They definitely need to work on their shots if they want to get past Drew Schmidt.
I think a wise choice would be to make him touch it. So, we'll see here. Connor Walsh has seemed to drop back to the back line, Joe.
Yes, he has. With Brandon Inbow coming out, you want to put a natural defender back there in Connor Walsh. Although he is very strong in the midfield, he's been playing defense the last 2 years.
And indeed, I almost like putting Cyrus back on the defensive line just because of his speed and slide tackle. And long cross in. Highlands Ranch goalie there. Lex Bukowski able to handle that. Christian Nays trying to rush in there. So shout out to our 6 viewers right now. We love your support. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell distant cousins. Tell the family dog's friends. Tell everybody to tune in.
You guys are the reason we do this. We love bringing these games to you every week. And it looks like we're going to have a Falcon counterattack to the midfield. Definitely working those skill moves. Ooh, beautiful move out there from number 19, Luis Castaneda.
And they gave it right back. And Luis Hernandez controlling the ball. Oh, that'll be a foul. Looked like he missed the ball and kicked Luis's legs.
It looks like he got both of his legs. I mean, just once. Took Luis right out from underneath him.
And Mitch Rossi, great control, finding Adam Mania on the backside. Adam Mania rushing in. Adam Mania with the shot, and easy save by Bukowski.
I think Kakowski, pardon me, Danowski is, just ready for those.
Bukowski.
Pardon me, Bukowski. He's finally ready for it. That first goal just caught him off guard, and now he's in the zone.
So we'll see here, Christian Nason with Luis trying to work a quick give and go. I thought you were talking about the goalie, Joe. That's Lex Bukowski, number 1. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the goalie, Joe.
It's okay, Steven. I forgive you. And it's going to be a Falcon free kick on the sideline. We got a foul on the Raiders, and they're going to look to send it very far forward, looking for number 11.
Trey heads it out. Oh, Connor Walsh clearing it. Falcons tried to got it through. He said no way. And on the run is Christian Nays. Christian Nays controls. Quick pass to Ian Sheldon. Ian Sheldon almost finding his way through. Tripped up. That's got to at least be a corner kick.
That's a handball on Ian Sheldon. The ref pointing that it hit his arm on the way through those 3 defenders. Going to be a free kick for the Falcons. And on that last free kick, number 11, John Schaefer was the target, but it did not get there.
I don't agree with that call. Ian Shelton was fumbling through 3 defenders trying to maintain control of the ball. I don't think that was a handball, but what the ref sees goes, and usually they're pretty fair, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Great move and a Great shot, but Drew Schmidt easily saves that because he has time to react from 40 yards out.
Right, he does, but we just saw Drew parry that ball just like those last 3 goalies. Do you think he's just more sound catching it more often than not?
I think he's definitely still a catch goalie. That came from 35 yards out. That was an absolutely perfectly placed fast shot. That was like a pro shot. I will give Castaneda that. That was perfectly placed, but Drew Schmidt just had time to react, and when you're there, you don't want to let a shot like that in, so you just parry it to the ground because nobody's around.
That was very, very similar to that of Diego Forlan winning the Golden Boot of the World Cup in 2008. That was just, 2010. Absolutely just great strike on the ball going upper 90, but Drew Schmidt said no.
Thank you so much, Joe. You know how much I love Diego, one of my favorite players in all of history, so definitely saw some similarities there. That actually reminds me of the shot from exactly 35 yards out in the Holland's semifinal match between Holland and I believe it was Uruguay, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, Steven. And we have Connor Walsh taking that ball back in the midfield, trying to send it forward and cleared out by the Falcons.
So Falcons still having trouble controlling. Christian Nay's able to keep. Oh. A little confusing there. I'm pretty sure that went off a Falcon player, but ref says no. Giving it back to the Falcons, and they're saying that's a handball on the Falcons.
And I believe that call is correct. It's going to be a free kick for the Raiders. Do you think not Brandon, but it looks to be Joe Langendorfer is sending this one long into the box. Think we're looking for a quick goal out of this?
I think we should be. Surprise! Inbound still hurt on the sideline, so Langendorfer taking it. Finds a great ball almost right to Harrison Thrasher, but no can do. But Mitch Rossi controls, puts it back in the box. Falcons having to clear with their head, but Cyrus Bibahani is going to be able to control. Finds Ian Shelton, but that'll go off his chest and into Falcon control. Falcons need a quick rush here. You can't hesitate, Joe, and that's exactly what they're doing is they're hesitating.
Right you are, Steven. And, when you need to run and gun on an offense, you can't hesitate. It's the exact opposite of what you want to do.
And that'll be a corner kick for the Falcons. I really think they could have scored there if Castaneda didn't hesitate. For as skilled as he is, he almost looks to use his skill moves too much and doesn't use any running.
Once they work once, you want to go back to them. You want to keep going to that well that brings you water. So he's going to keep going to his skill moves. Hopefully they work.
And we'll see here the cross by Castaneda. He puts it up. Oh, headed out there. Great play by Langendorfer. And Raiders now on the break. Ian Shelton with control. Oh, can't quite find Harrison Thrasher. And that'll be cleared back up. Oh, that'll be a foul on Ian Shelton. He kind of ran through that defender after he lost the ball. But interesting decision for the ref to bring it all the way back. I thought there was an advantage.
I believe there was advantage too, Steven. I think they'd rather have the ball up on the Regis Jesuit back 4 instead of in their own back 4 and moving a counterattack. But what the ref says goes, and here comes a free kick for the Falcons.
We'll see. He won't put it into the box from 90 yards out. Raiders control it. And Ian Shelton finds Adam Mania. Adam Mania looking, finds a quick ball to Trey Ahern. Trey Ahern tries to find one down the line to Harrison Thrasher. Harrison Thrasher running after it. That'll go out of bounds for a goal kick for the Highlands Ranch Falcons.
That was a good thought from the Raiders, but they need to execute it better. They had that through ball there. It just had to be a little bit softer. Harrison could have controlled it and gotten a good cross out of the deal.
And inside 10 minutes here to go in the first half. In fact, 9 minutes right now, and as we know in high school soccer, there is no stoppage time. It's just 9 minutes on the dot. So boot here from Highlands Ranch. And Cyrus to Christian. Christian just controlling it. Langendorfer back to Nays. Nays to Walsh. Looking to switch. Finds it in the middle. Cyrus can't quite control, but he still finds it out to Trey Ahern for the switch. A really long switch there. I don't even call it a switch, but Ian Shelton. Cyrus Bibahani sliding to give Adam Mania the ball up the wing. What a fantastic play if Adam can cross it, but he can't.
That was a great play by Adam Mania. That was a hard ball to get to, and he got his chest on it trying to control it. That was marvelous.
Great, fantastic play by Cyrus Bibahani there with a slide through ball. You don't see that much with that accuracy. So great teamwork there, great chemistry, and I think the Raiders are starting to click on all cylinders, Joe.
And there you see Cyrus's textbook slide tackle working for offense too. He just slid tackled that ball all the way down to Adam Mania in the corner.
So quick play here. Christian Nace has control, looking for his friends. And he will find Langendorfer back there. Through ball to Harrison Thrasher, but that'll go quickly out of bounds.
And if you're the Raiders, you really don't want to lose that ball. You have it. You have good possession. You want to hold on to it, keep that possession, keep it going, look for some offense.
I think if you're the Raiders, you need to show everybody more friends, Joe. Nobody really has it. A through ball to Adam Mania. Adam Mania with the shot and goal!
That was an absolutely marvelous goal from Adam Mania, striking with his left foot, putting it far post. We love to see that from Adam. Love seeing this Raider offense do what they do best.
Sorry, Joe. I got a little carried away there. I could have gone longer, but for the respect of the mics and our listeners' ears.
Although, I do like the enthusiasm. And on for Adam Mania, we have Luis Hernandez. Falcons tried to start too soon before the officials were ready. And Connor Walsh being sent off. He looks to either be injured or had some words for the referee that he didn't like.
He
But
didn't get a yellow, did he?
I don't believe he did, but in for the Raiders, we have Matt Muniz and Luis Hernandez.
Interesting call there. Take your goal scorer off. Oh, he looks to be hurt. He's talking to the trainer, so no yellow card.
I think they took off that goal scorer because there's 7 minutes left in this half. They want to give him a little bit of a rest.
So we'll see here what the Falcons can do. Falcons really in pressure now. I think you got to get a goal before the half's out, Joe.
Absolutely. And, these Raiders playing very strong in the midfield, very strong in the defense, but these forwards really haven't been doing too much in, the offense. They really got to start producing more. They can't always come from their midfield.
So we'll see here as Luis Hernandez takes it up the side. He's going to stop, find Mitch Rossi, finds Trey Ahern. Trey Ahern trying to play it through to Ian Shelton. Falcons having trouble controlling in their back four, giving Ian Shelton almost a chance to get there. And Luis Hernandez will get there. Luis Hernandez breaking down the side. He will try to bring it into the middle with a shot, but blocked by a Falcon defender. But Mitch Rossi, great control and a great skill move. Oh! And tried to make another skill move, but denied by a Falcon body. And Falcons could have an attack on if they had anybody up front. Falcons now almost all defense, and you can't do that when you're down by 2, Joe.
This Falcon team just looks absolutely frazzled from what just happened. They're giving up a second goal in the first half. Can't be too easy to come back from.
And Ian Shelton can't quite cut that. That's a through ball. But Falcons really having trouble controlling it. And with 6 minutes left, Joe, do you think the Falcons need a goal in this first half to stay in it?
I don't think they need one to stay in it, but it definitely couldn't hurt them if they got a quick goal going into the half, cutting the deficit to 1.
Joe, I absolutely love the touch of Langendorfer, and Ian Shelton is through. And he will not get a shot. Is he tripped up? The ref says no. Goal kick. No, he says free kick. Where will it be given?
Looks like it's going to be given right outside the 18 because that was a clear foul, but I don't think it was blatant enough to give the.
I think it's from the spot.
Here comes
it's a
the penalty kick for the Raiders. That foul occurring in the box, and it's going to be a penalty kick for the Raiders. Don't see this too often in high school, Steven.
You really don't. It's really exciting. We'll see if Ian Shelton can keep his calm, and I think Ian Shelton's definitely the one that should be taking this. So we'll see here if he can score.
Ian Shelton has a cannon of a foot. Let's see what he does.
And Yahtzee. Ian Shelton puts it in, bottom right corner. So Raiders going up 3-0 very quick. 2 goals there within about 2 minutes. So that's just got to deflate the Falcons. And now, Joe, do you think it's important for them to get a goal in this half?
I think that, more importantly, they shouldn't give up another goal in this half. There's still 5 minutes. They gave up 2 goals in about a minute and a half. Who says they wouldn't do it again? But if they want to stay in this game, they have to keep the ball out of the net.
And you think during the half, Joe, the Falcon manager, um, Danny Main might change up his game plan because obviously it's not working.
You have to do something. You let 3 goals in the first half. You gotta change something. You gotta do something new.
So we'll see here what the Falcons do. Already looking deep. Finds a player, but he has no help. And he's going to have to put it back in the midfield. And that's what we've seen, Joe. I think the Falcons have traveled the ball as much forward as they have backward.
It's like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back for the Falcons. I don't think they're trying to make too much progress towards that goal. And there it goes again, right back after they send it forward. It's a safe play, sending the ball right back where it came from, but it doesn't really get you too far.
But then they do stuff like that, giving it away to Mitch Rossi. Mitch Rossi will try to find a through ball to Harrison Thrasher. No good. Connor Walsh all over that. But the Falcons will remain it and takes a absolutely terrible shot. Drew Smith running into the goal frame to make sure that didn't go in. But I really don't think it matters who's in goal right now.
That was a very spirited strike from the Falcons, just sending balls in from outside the 18, not really on cage. And, Drew Schmidt getting his first start tonight, and he has a clean sheet 35 minutes into this game.
So Drew Schmidt, that clean sheet with 1 save, and what a save it was. So we'll see here, Raiders playing it to Trey Ahern. Trey Ahern looking for Cyrus Bibahani with a less than favorable kick, but Cyrus is going to get back up and deflect that. Castaneda. The Falcons are going to botch that possession again.
That seems to be the story of the night for them, Steven. They'll get it, they'll send it forward, and the Raider defense will cut it out, just like there. And now they have it again, and the Raiders are cutting out.
And Mitch Rossi. Oh, that's got to be a foul.
Dangerous play against Mitch Rossi. The referee definitely not pleased with that. No card, no words for him, but that was much too aggressive. He jumped up onto Mitch's back.
I think that's at least worth words, Joe, if not a card. I understand it's been a clean game, so you don't want to pull cards out right away, but I think that was at least worth words.
I think he's definitely going to hear about that from his manager. The manager can't just say, hey, I understand you're frustrated, but you can't take it out on these other players because then you're going to get a red card and put us down even more.
So we'll see here. Joe controlling it up the side, and the Falcons will control. So we'll see the Falcons. Castaneda, he's going to pass one man. Ref says play on with the advantage.
And another long-distance shot from Luis Castaneda. That one coming from 30 yards out. Sends it over the crossbar, over the field goal post, and Drew Schmidt was there for it the whole way.
At least he's getting closer. That's actually his closest shot of the night from 30 yards out. So if you're the manager, do you pull him off and say, whoa, whoa, whoa?
I think you do. He's taken so many long-distance shots that I would put in someone who will work the offense and get closer shots and better opportunities.
So we'll see here. Muniz not able to control, but Harrison Thrasher there to control. And Raiders just kind of putting their foot in wherever they can and giving the Falcons grief.
And it's working for them, too. Got them 3 goals in this first half. Falcons sending it forward far. Trey Ahern cuts it out. Falcons get the ball again in the midfield. And I bet you the Raiders are going to cut this one out, too, Steven.
And Castaneda putting it where not even a Falcon could get to it, and that'll be a goal kick. Trey Ahern flicking it back off the Falcon player. Shout out to, just as I saw him, I remember Chris McCoy, who's now attended every single boys' home soccer game and always asks for a shout out, so I'm going to save him some breath. Definitely here, the Raiders looking maybe. So we'll see here. And what do you know, right after I gave Chris a shout out, he's up here with us. So we'll see here. The Falcons not going to be able to control. Very poor control for a control-style game, Joe.
The Falcons wanted to win this game. They had to control the ball a lot better than they are right now. And we're coming down to the final minute of this first half. I believe that is Mitch Rossi just sending a huge ball forward, looking for Matt Muniz. Doesn't get there. Falcons going to punt it forward, looking for their midfield. And Cyrus there to cut it out.
And we'll see here, Luis Hernandez. With 45 seconds left on the clock. Luis still has it. And Cyrus will control that. Gets it back to Walsh. Walsh finds Langendorfer. Langendorfer can't quite get it through, and the Falcons maybe a last-second rush with 30 seconds to go. Castaneda, great skill move. Finds number 23 for the Falcons. And absolutely terrible pass cut out by Trey Ahern, and that should end the half, maybe 20 seconds to go. Luis Hernandez.
That was the right idea from the Falcons. That's the offense they want. They got all the way down to the 18 looking for that shot. And here come the Raiders. Trey Ahern down the side takes a shot with his left hand, scooped up by the Falcon goalie, and they're going to settle everything down.
And Joe, not to correct you or anything, but he took it with his left foot. So if he took it with his left hand there, that might be a penalty.
Pardon me, his left foot.
And we'll see you back for the second half at Lou Kellogg Stadium. Your Regis Jesuit Raiders leading the Highlands Ranch Falcons 3-0 in an absolute show of domination. And welcome back, Regis Jesuit soccer fans, to Lou Kellogg Stadium for tonight's matchup between the Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Highlands Ranch Falcons. I'm Steven Snyder, here with my co-commentator Joe Quigley, my cameraman Joey Bennell, and my stand-in producer who's learning how to produce one of our shadows, Nick. Sorry, I just met Nick.
Nick Valenti stepping in for me. He wanted to produce, so I'm like, you know what? By all means, you can produce for the rest of the night. And you know what? So far, he's doing a great job. And we'll start the second half. We're going to have the Regis Jesuit Raiders kicking off because the visitors, the Falcons, started the first half, and it's only polite, as is soccer, a game of respect, that you switch.
So, Regis Jesuit starting off here with a very easy forward motion. Looking for a quick through ball to Adam Mania. Adam Mania chasing it down. Adam Mania can keep it in and just give him a long throw in. Not going to be a goal kick, but I imagine the Highlands Ranch Falcons got a earful during halftime. Their manager absolutely chiffed to bits about those last two goals.
Chiffed to dust about those 3 goals, one of them being a penalty. You can't be happy with that first half of play, but let's hopefully they can come out and play the soccer that they can play.
Number 10 for the Falcons, finally back on the field. Zach Moss. And Raiders can't control. That'll go out of bounds for a Highlands Ranch goal kick.
And Highlands Ranch coming out this first half better than they did. Already starting strong. Maybe they can keep it going. Hopefully they do. It's going to be a goal kick for the Falcons. Looking to send it deep. Only gets to the midfield. Bounces past a few players. And it's going to be Regis ball in the midfield. Cyrus holding on to it. Great moves. Tries to volley that down to Adam Mania for a through ball. It doesn't get there. And it's going to be cleared out by the Falcon defense. Matt Muniz trying to get to it, though. Keep it from leaving. And he does plays it back to Langendorfer, who kicks it out of bounds. It can be Falcon throwing.
And Joe, absolutely great play here by both teams to start the half. We'll see here the control for the Falcons, the control ball they've been playing has actually been working a little in this first half. We can see them a little more composed.
It's good to see that they're coming out and playing the soccer that they're used to playing, not whatever first half team they've brought out here.
Stopped by the Falcons, but that'll go out of bounds for a Regis Jesuit throw in about 40 yards from the goal line.
And you can look to see Langendorfer playing a smart ball. He's a very intelligent player. He's not going to make big, huge plays or really elaborate, bicycle kicks, but he's a very smart player, and it's absolutely invaluable for the Raiders.
And he has fantastic touch, Joe. I've seen some of the through balls he's played, and every one has been right on target.
He's got a magnificent touch on the ball in addition to his intelligence. He's just an all-around great player, even though he's so young. And it's going to be another Regis Jesuit throw-in, sending it forward to a Falcon player. Falcons controlled in the midfield through number 9, Kyle Dythorn. Looking to play it forward, looking for a through ball, gets cut out, and it's going to be a foot race to the ball. And it'll be a foul on Trey Ahern. He practically just pushed him over. Referee not too happy with that, but he's gonna keep his card in his pocket. No words. Referee dictating where he wants that ball, as he's been doing all night. Absolutely on point.
Zach Moss, the Highlands Ranch big leg, looked like he'd be stepping up to take it. So we'll see here, 2 players over there.
I don't think he's going to take a shot from this angle. I mean, it's such a low angle, such a low percentage scoring area. I think he's going to look for a cross.
Oh, it's a fake, but number 7 there for the Falcons, Velasquez actually took it, but Drew Schmidt, second save of the night, and boy, was it a good one.
Drew Schmidt, 2 for 2 on saves, and he's looking very good back there, putting up a clean sheet for the Raiders. Not the best punt we've seen out of him, falling quite short, but it definitely had a lot of hang time. Connor Walsh out in the midfield, making his presence known, throwing that big body of his around, trying to win that ball. And 3 players go down, one of them being Connor Walsh, to show how big he is.
I wouldn't be surprised at a card here or even words, but even Connor Walsh not getting words with the ref, and it looks like it's actually a Falcon hurt player. for the Falcons.
And he looks to be favoring his left knee, maybe his ankle. He's definitely not thrilled with the state he's in. And here comes Miss Kubis from our Regis Jesuit training staff. Special shout out to her and Miss Purdue and our most involved athletic trainer, Dylan Campbell, not here tonight, but I'd like to give a shout out to them. They definitely take care of us very well out here in the athletics, making sure we're ready to go. We're taped up. We got everything iced that hurts. Definitely a great training staff. Great to have them out here.
And it looks like that player that went down was the one that ended up under Walsh and the other Highlands Ranch player. So definitely the potential for injury there. Shout out to our cameraman, now our other shadow, Dean Hampers. So fantastic job by Dean and Nick, and we really appreciate their help.
Yes, we do, and hopefully we see him more this year. Maybe even stepping in as full-time cameraman or full-time producer, or even on these microphones here with us, Steven. And that Falcon player is still down, you know. Definitely a serious injury. He's been down for quite a while. He's not feeling good. Hopefully he's all right. Definitely want to see him okay.
And definitely, we'll see here. You really hate to see a player get hurt, Joe. High school athletics are so much fun, and the competition is fierce, but at the end of the day, everybody still enjoys each other and still enjoys representing the state of Colorado in athletics. So whenever you see a player down, even if you're on the opposing team, you just hate to see it.
Absolutely. I mean, you might come out here, compete, wear two different colored jerseys, but at the end of the day, we're all still friends. For example, Adam Dankowski for the Highlands Ranch Falcons is our one and only Twitter manager, Jose Shalit's best friend. They're actually in a band together called The Baltic. Get at them on Twitter, at The Baltic Band. And they're just absolutely great music. They go to different schools, wear different jerseys, but at the end of the day, they're still best friends. Just goes to show how interconnected we all are.
And he said, Jose, our Twitter manager, I believe he has a quick announcement about the Twitter while number 24, our mystery man, has walked off.
Hello, guys. My name is Jose Shalit, managing the Twitter account at RJ_voice. Be sure to follow to get live score updates from this broadcast and many other things following the RJ Spirit Week. Back to you.
Thanks, Jose. Great to have you here, and our staff just keeps growing and growing, and we really enjoy it. So
that was our mystery player, number 24, down for the Falcons, and he seems to be walking up somewhat under his own power. He seems to be weight-bearing on that leg, but he's only being supported by his coach. Another shout-out to Miss Kubis, definitely taking care of him out there. And it's going to be a free kick for the Falcons.
And about 50 yards out here. Wouldn't be surprised to maybe see it in the box because it is within striking distance.
And it looks like sending the big cross in, launching it, looking for anyone to get there. Drew Schmidt controls it very well, eats it up, and you think that's why Walsweir put him in that goal, to eat that ball up?
Exactly. He's a catch goalie. The other three are parries. And because he can eat it up so well, I believe that's why he's in. And I think if he comes away with a clean sheet here tonight, Joe, or even just a one-goal game, I believe we could see him back next week because he has been performing so well, even with the increased pressure the Falcons have been putting on him. So I definitely think that if he has a good game tonight, doesn't let in any goals or lets in one, I really think we could see Drew Schmidt starting here again. Throw in for the Raiders down here, and as I was just telling our viewers, Joe, I think we could see Drew Schmidt starting again if he lets in one or no goals tonight.
That was dangerous play from Jack Flynn for the Raiders. From our angle, it looked like that was going upper 90 on his own goal. That was a little scary. You can't even blame Drew Schmidt for that one because he thought he knew it was going out of bounds, but it looked scary for us.
Definitely did. Well, we'll see here what Highlands Ranch can do with this. I think they really need to score here or within the next couple minutes to give themselves a chance, Joe.
They need to score something soon, otherwise they're going to run out of time. And Trey Ahern with the beautiful clear, knocking that ball out, elevating to get to it. That was a huge jump by him. And another long-distance shot from number 7. He, too, is not on our roster, though we don't know who he is, but he just had a huge shot.
Velasquez.
I apologize.
So we'll see here. Interesting thing there, Joe. All of the Raiders were within 35 yards of the goal line, all on the back third of the field. So Raiders definitely switching up their style.
Definitely, and it looks like, Walsh is going to stay back in that defense. He's a very strong midfield player, but it looks like we're going to keep him down in the defense for the rest of the evening.
So we'll see here what the Falcons, can do with this throw-in deep in their own territory, and just kicked out, cleared. Take 2 for the Falcons.
Let's see what they do this time. Probably going to play another short ball, keep possession, and look through their midfield. And they're playing a little bit longer. Instead of a through ball, Matt Muniz looks like he just kicked that square into the head of the Falcon player, number 10, Zach Moss, but he shook it off and is playing just fine.
Ouch. That looked like it went right into his face, trying to stop the clear, and that would hurt. I might be actually down out there, Joe. But great play on by the Falcon player, and we'll see if they can create an opportunity here. Number 3, the top of the box, but great clear by, can't quite get that.
Number 11 for the Falcons, John Schaffer. And that was a good play from the Falcons. They were definitely testing this Raider defense, getting into the box for the rest of the night. Good to see that they're not just trying to take those long-distance 40-yard shots anymore.
And indeed, that is a good sign, Joe. I think their coach probably let them know that they shouldn't be taking those during the halftime. We haven't even seen a look for one of those. Drew Schmidt. As Drew Schmidt takes his corner kick, you can see Brendan Imbow warming up. So definitely interesting. We'll hope to see him back in as he went out injured earlier.
Hopefully we can bring in Brandon Imbow and send Connor Walsh to that midfield because he's so valuable there. And 2 headers in a row from Connor Walsh. He's very well known for that absolutely golden head of his, clearing out those back 4 balls, getting it in the air, looking for attacks. Definitely absolutely strong player. Going to be a free kick for the Raiders. Foul on the Falcons. Trey Ahern looking to line this one up.
53.5 yards out from the goal line. I imagine we could see him put it in the box.
Definitely going to be looking to cross. And here it comes, looking to send it far post to Ian Sheldon. Falcon goalie just thigh-ing that out of the box. I'm surprised he didn't try to catch it or kick it or do anything but what he did. So it worked out for him, but it's very unorthodox.
Yeah, definitely dangerous there. Trey Ahern keeping it in the midfield for the Raiders.
Beautiful touch by Mitch Rossi. Just 2 touching that ball and flicking it on to Trey Ahern. Sends it down. Looking for Adam Mania. Luis Hernandez is going to control.
And Luis just has such a presence about what's around him. I don't care if you're coming up behind him with 3 men. He knows you're coming. And I don't know how he does it, but he just has fantastic field sense.
Squandering of possession there for the Falcons by number 10, Zach Moss. The Raiders are going to control it in their midfield. Mitch Rossi making a run. Looks to send a through ball to Christian Nays, and he can't go get it because he would have been offsides had he moved any sooner.
Really unfortunate there, Joe. Raiders really trying to put a nail in the coffin here with a 4th goal that would just about do it. So Falcons fending off, and we'll see if they can get some offense going. But Jack Flynn says no, gets it to Adam Mania. Great touching by the Raiders here out in midfield. Just awesome control.
Absolutely. They've got marvelous touch on the ball. Their skill moves, their passing, their shots, everything about it's just absolutely fantastic. And there you see it, Adam Mania just dribbling around players and keeping possession. Going to be a throw in. Takes it quickly to Mitch Rossi. Mitch Rossi takes a left-footed strike. No spin on the ball. That was absolutely fantastic. But the goalkeeper for the Falcons ate it up.
Bukowski ate that up. So we'll see here what the Falcons can do. Headed out. Falcon throw in.
Sorry, Steven. They have their new goalie in at number 17, Michael Persinger. And it is going to be a throw-in for the Falcons on the sideline. Going to be taken by number 3, Blake Dickerson. Sends it in, and they're going to look to play in their midfield. Cyrus Bohabi trying to cut that ball out, and he does. Mitch Rossi sends it very far forward, looking for anyone in the midfield. Ian Sheldon turning on the Jets to get to that ball, making the Falcon player sent it to the sideline to Christian Nays, who was then double-teamed looking for anything out of bounds Falcon ball.
So Falcons with a quick throw in, and we'll see what they do here. But Christian Nays takes it away. Christian Nays has been all over the field tonight, doing very well. Tries to find the through ball to Adam Bonilla, but no can do. And the Raiders going to pop it in. Luis Hernandez rushing the goalie, but the goalie able to control that.
Good control from Michael Persinger for the Falcons. New look in net. Maybe he can try to shut out this high-powered Raider offense that put up 3 in that first half.
And, Joe, as you look at this Falcon team, we're definitely seeing a different team and an improved team from the first half. But I'm not sure how long this will last. They're using a lot of energy to keep this offense alive the way they want to.
They also got a lot of players sitting on that bench who I bet are just dying to get in. Great chest on the ball from Adam Bonilla, trying to play it to Luis Hernandez, bounces over his head, Falcon throw-in.
So Falcons here with the throw-in. Player not looking for it, and that'll be a turnover for the Raiders. A little too quick for his own player there, Joe.
Absolutely, and Mitch Rossi, even though he just fell over, he still kept the ball, and I guess it's a foul on Mitch. Coach Wolf, Coach Mulligan, Coach Walls, even Father Dyer were upset with that decision. Mitch Rossi looking for an explanation. I don't believe he got the one he was looking for, and this would be a Falcon free kick. They send it forward, looking for some offense.
Manager Rick Wolf just made a quick spin, and you could tell by his face he was chiffed, Joe.
Right he was, Steven, and rightfully so. I do not agree with that call, but the referee probably had a better view than I did because he's on the field and I'm not.
Definitely, and Raiders absolutely controlling this ball. Ian Shelton, the Rocket. Oh, big collision. We'll see which way this ball goes.
The ref signaling for Ian Shelton to come to him. Do you think he's going to show him the card or just give him some words?
I think we're only going to see words, and that's indeed. I think the reason Ian Shelton didn't get that call, Joe, and the reason the other player did was because Ian Shelton's kind of been barreling around the field all day, train wrecking. So another hurt player for the Falcons, and he's gripping his head. You don't like to see that.
This player is Jackson Goldsberry. He went down, and he hit his head hard against the turf. That is rough to see. It's bad to get injured, but it's also bad to injure your head because those injuries stay with you for a long time. They can affect you in school, and it's just overall just very, very dangerous to see a head injury.
So we'll see here. Ref really keeping control of the game by not using cards, seeing that it was a fairly clean game and just saying, hey, boys, calm it down. You've been playing a clean game so far. Keep it. And I really love to see refs that are like that, Joe.
I do too, Steven. But I also like to see that he didn't just instantly go for that red card because it was such a big play. I mean, that was a high-speed collision that they just saw. That was football status. Someone coming over the line, coming over the middle, and just get crushed by a Ray Lewis-sized linebacker. But I'm glad to see that they didn't bring out that card because it was such a big play.
And, Joe, I think they didn't bring out the card because, as the ref, he couldn't really tell who hit who. He had to talk with Ian Shelton. And if what's his name? Goldsberry wasn't as hard injured. So I'd imagine he'd have a word with him. So we'll see.
I'm pretty sure the ref would like to have a word with him just to hear his side of the story, but I really hope he does remember his side of the story because he's been down for a while, maybe looking like a concussion. This is not good.
Not good at all. And if you're the Falcons, you can't be losing players that you put out there for a purpose. Only 27 minutes to go in this game. I imagine if the Raiders can just hold on to the ball for another 5 minutes, it's going to be near impossible for the Falcons to come back.
Absolutely. And we have Jackson's now sitting upright. That's a good sign. He's shaking his head to Miss Kubis' questions. Maybe she's doing a concussion test, or maybe she's asking if, do you think you can get up and walk off under your own power? Really hope he's okay because you never want to see injuries no matter what team it is, and you definitely don't want to see head injuries either.
So, Joe, overall, in the first part of the second half, how would you assess both teams' play?
The Raiders have come out, and they've maintained their pace of play. They've maintained the balls in possession they've been getting. They've maintained basically everything they did in the first half. And the Falcons have come out a lot stronger in this second half than they did in the first half, and that's great to see. You love to see improvement out of teams.
Goldsberry being walked off under the weight of definitely leaning on his coach, and he looks a little confused. So definitely hoping that's not a serious head injury, Joe.
Hopefully not, and we'll try to check in with him before the game is over. It'll be a free kick for the Falcons to restart this game with 27 minutes left, and they send it very far forward, looking for something, flying around out in the box, and Drew Schmidt, very calm, collected, takes that ball.
Second time this season we've seen an attempt in the hand of God play. Maradona looked like he was just looking to hit it with something and anything, whether that be his hand, his head, his knee, his foot. He was just trying to hit it with something. But Drew Schmidt staying very composed there, and going to be a foul. Falcons ball, looking to take it quick.
I think they're going to look for another big cross and look for a head to send it into the goal against this new goalie, Drew Schmidt. That's what they've been doing all night.
Drew Schmidt telling his one-man wall where he wants him.
Sending it right at the goal from Luis Castaneda, and it is through the uprights. That appeared to be about a 43-yard field goal had this been football, but we were playing soccer, and it was no good.
Unfortunately, Joe, you can't get 3 points that way and tie it up. So we'll see here. Castaneda just needs to calm down and put it on goal. I really think a cross there would have been more well-advised, because I don't know many people that can score on a free kick from 43 yards out.
I don't know anyone except for perhaps Diego Forlan could score from 40 yards out.
Oh, well, I was taking that as a given, Joe. We all know Diego Forlan can do it, but there's not many others.
Right, you are. And it's going to be a Falcon throw-in over on the sideline. Raiders practically throwing away that possession. Not too common from this Raider offense. Like, see, they hold on to the ball very well, and it's weird when you see him just cave it away. Looking for a through ball. Connor Walsh there to cut it out. But Falcons still control, playing to the sideline. Cross into number 11, John Schaffer. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders.
Raiders really content, Joe, just sitting there and just pretty much sitting in their armchairs saying, we're up 3-0. Falcons, you got to make a move.
But I like the class from this Regis Jesuit team. They're saying, yes, it's your move, but we're not going to let it happen easy. We're still going to play our tough defense.
So we'll see here. Cyrus Babahani heads it to a Falcon player, then goes back and gets it back. Jack Flynn. Adam Mania is going to look for control. Looks for Harrison Thrasher down the line, but the Falcon defender, number 3.
Blake Dickerson cutting that ball out from Adam Mania. And we're going to have a throw-in from Trey Ahern on the sideline, Cyrus Babahani coming out, and Scott Ryan checking in for the first time tonight.
And that's really surprising. We've seen Scott quite a lot in these past couple of weeks, Joe, so surprised that it's his first action. Surprising players that we really haven't seen tonight. Imbal was warming up. Now he's sitting on the bench. Having Ian Shelton's now on the bench. Really, Raiders going through the cycles and saying, now you get a chance to see the field. So giving a lot more players playtime, and I love that, Joe.
I do too, Steven. I love seeing everybody get a chance to go out there and prove what they've got, prove that they deserve to be on this team. And it's going to be a fight for possession in the midfield. The Falcons are going to come away with it, looking to send a quick ball forward, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Raiders throw in. That is not what the Falcons needed right now. I feel like this is crunch time. They need to put in their first goal very, very soon, or it might be out of reach for them.
Joe, I think they've got about a minute. As I was talking earlier, I said they needed it by about 2 minutes before the halfway point, which is quickly approaching, is a minute, 10 seconds away, and here they go maybe. Castaneda drops it back to Moss. Moss looking. Moss trying to find his friend out on the side, but no good. And Ryan able to clear.
And Luis Hernandez trying to control that ball in the midfield. Goes back, tries to get it again. Very strong play from number 9, Kyle Dythorn in the midfield. Gets it back to his back four, and they're going to look to send it forward. Connor Walsh barely gets his head to that one. almost a shot from the Falcons by number 11. John Schaffer, he couldn't connect with it. Defense going to clear it out. Falcon throw-in.
Quick side note for all you Raider athletic fans, the Regis Jesuit girls volleyball team just lost in 5 sets to the Legend Titans. So another close game, and they're playing really well. And actually we'll be airing volleyball game Thursday at 6:30 p.m., so tune in.
And it's going to be a throw-in for the Regis Jesuit Raiders on the sideline. Trey Ahern taking it. Trey Ahern, very, very strong defender for this Regis Jesuit defense.
And he really is, Joe. He's been in the entire game. Falcons really getting getting a little physical in there. And you like to see that fire from players saying, I'm not going to give up. And my magical number of 22 minutes has passed, Joe. So now I think the Falcons are really in trouble.
They need to put one in as soon as possible at this point. They had a little bit of a cushion in the first half of this game, but now it's crunch time. They got to start getting their goals if they want to keep in this game.
And I think the great Wayne Gretzky said, can't score if you don't shoot. And right now the Falcons aren't shooting, so I think that's really a key for them. Is I don't care if it's 40 yards out. You need to start shooting.
I do believe his words were, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that is happening. They're missing all the shots they're not taking. They haven't seemed to take a lot of shots, and that's what they need to start doing. They need to start with shots, and hopefully it turns into goals.
So we'll see here. Harrison Thrasher chasing down Velasquez. Nays finding it through to Harrison Thrasher offsides. That was obvious.
Yep, referee put his flag up because he knew. Pretty blatant offsides there. It's going to be a free kick for the Falcons.
So, I'm sorry, folks. Falcons going to free kick it here. And Trey Ahern with a quick flick to Adam Mania. Oh, Moss. Nah, offsides. Offsides. There goes the ref's flag.
And Langendorf is going to be taking this free kick. Probably looking to send it up to his midfield, just, see what they can get going on offense. Seems like the Raiders are playing somewhat defensive-mindedly, but bending but not breaking.
Indeed, Joe, and that's the way they play defense. That's how you have to play with a speed defense with the German style. You have to be able to bend and bend a lot, but those defenses rarely break.
John Schaffer trying to take a shot there. Connor Walsh is there to block it, and it seems as if it was so powerful that it knocked the shin guard out of Connor Walsh's sock. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders.
So Drew Schmidt taking his own goal kicks while Brendan Imbow is out. Brendan Imbow sitting on the bench. I don't know if they are just concerned about him. Mania and Luis Hernandez coming off, and Kyle Weatherby seeing his first action of the season.
I love watching Kyle play. He gives it 110% every time he's on that field, and it's just great to see him. He's also one of our senior rowdies for the year. We have a couple of rowdies on this team, Christian Nays and Connor Walsh. Great to see them out here playing the sport they love and getting the crowd pumped up at other sporting events.
And so we'll see here number 8 for the Raiders.
Gosh, you train wreck.
Mizgala also seeing his first action of the year. Kyle Weatherby chasing it down with that 110%. What is the call?
Looks like it's going to be offsides. Referee putting up his flag on the far side, calling Kyle Weatherby offsides. Free kick for the Falcons, going to be taken by number 22, Jeff Engel.
Interesting call there, but I love seeing Kyle Weatherby chase it with 110% effort. He was probably running about 120 miles an hour there to get that ball, and he got there, but unfortunately he was offsides.
If he's running the 120 miles an hour, we should sign him up for the track team, Steven.
And Scott Ryan able to keep that in. Michael Mizgala. And Michael actually coming off an injury, Joe. That's why he hasn't been playing lately.
Right, you are. I believe this is his first or second game back from this injury. First game back. And he's doing well. Seems to be running around 100%. Nothing's bothering him. Nothing's running funny. Out of bounds on the Falcons. Going to be a throw-in. Quickly take Trey Ahern looking to quickly take it. Sends it to Harrison Thrasher. Protects it with his body. Looking for something. Anything. Splits two. Looking for the goal. Almost gets through 4 players. Send it to Kyle Weatherby in the corner. Kyle probably going to look to cross here. Sends it back off a player. Doesn't go out of bounds. Oh, pardon me. It does, and it's going to be a Regis throw-in. All the players thought that stayed in. They were ready to go for it.
Harrison Thrasher threading 4 defenders before that pass. Really giving it a shot. Kyle Weatherby with a high throw, and Scott Ryan heads in the middle but headed out. And we'll see if Scott Ryan can control it. Excuse me. Oh, the Falcons player wasn't looking for it, and Trey Hearn hopped on the chance. Christian Nays finds it in front of the goal. And Christian looking, finds Harrison Thrasher on the side. Harrison, quick cross. Oh, sliced by Scott Ryan, but Falcons goalie there to stop it.
I like that shot from Scott. That is not the easiest angle to do a shot from, but he definitely got his foot to it and put it on net. Quick counterattack from the Falcons. Great save from Drew Schmidt. Definitely rushing out the feet one-on-one with that player. Number 11 for the Falcons, John Sheffer, and Drew Schmidt says, not today.
Dropping down and getting those legs spread to block it as a great goalie, almost looking like Vladislav Tretiak of the USSR hockey goalie. Just absolutely fantastic goalie. So we'll see here Drew Schmidt with the big boot. He has a lot of hang time, not a lot of distance, Joe.
I like what I've seen from Drew Schmidt tonight. He's got a clean sheet. He just went one-on-one with a Falcon varsity starting forward, and he saved it. That's a testament to his goalkeeping. I like that from Drew Schmidt.
And here we go again. Drew Schmidt out. And they're calling a foul. I
Foul
believe this
inside
is
the box is going to be a penalty kick for the Falcons. I believe they're calling Trey Ahern for pushing down number 11, John Sheffer, inside the box. And they're going to be lining up from the spot to take this penalty.
And none other than number 19 for the Falcons, Castaneda, coming to take it. And Drew Schmidt getting pumped up. If he makes this save, he's secured his starting job.
Drew Schmidt definitely trying to get inside of Luis Castaneda, letting him know, like, hey, I'm here. Let's go, man. Sends it top shelf. Goal for the Falcons. Great penalty from the Falcons. Absolutely magnificent.
And there's not really much you can do about that if you're Drew Schmidt. You hope to guess. I don't think that'll count against him, Joe, and I still think we could see him starting next week. But Falcons right back in this if they can get another quick one.
Absolutely. That's what they needed, and they have 15 minutes left in this game. Hopefully they can keep going, make this game close one. Hopefully come away with a point if they draw it.
And we'll see here. Raiders really look like they have the 3 points locked up with their control, but you never know if another unlucky break happens, and that looked like a handball.
You can hear it from the managers. You can hear it from the players. Even these fans are like, that was off his hand, and they wanted it.
And even I said that, Joe, with calling that handball. So surprising here, but if the Raiders can gain control, no harm, no foul.
Big switching into the field for the Falcons. Almost goes completely out of bounds. Kyle Weatherby playing good, strong defense over there on the sideline. Throw in for the Falcons. Taking quickly, Joe Langendorfer looking to play their defense. And 3 players down there win possession. Scott Ryan trying to do something with it. Not a great pass. And it seems Drew Schmidt saving that ball from the ground. That was fantastic.
Ooh, and Joe, he is earning his keep tonight. He has definitely shown out there why Regis needs a strong goalie, because this game could easily be 3-3.
I'd like to point out how he went out, made the first save, ended up on just sitting down on the ground, and he made the second save from a fully seated position. That is not easy to do.
That is not easy at all. Only one other person I've ever seen do that in any sport. And going back here to my love of international hockey, Vladislav Tretiak of the USSR team from about 64 to 1980.
And it looked like we're going to have a throw-in for the Falcons up at the midfield. Starting to try a deep flick on, and it's going to be cleared out by number 15, Joe Langendorfer for the Raiders. Christian Nays playing defense over on the sideline. And Michael Mascala takes that right in the hip, trying to do something with it. Scott Ryan gets ahead on the ball, sending it forward to Harrison Thrasher. Thrasher looking for Christian Nays, get a chest on it, brings it down to his feet very nicely, and they're looking to move forward.
Mascala controlling. Finds Scott Ryan. Ryan will probably look for Ahern. No, looks for Weatherby forward. And poor touch by Kyle Weatherby there. So we'll see here what the Raiders or Falcons can do with the throw-in.
Hopefully the Falcons get some offense going. They've got 13 and a half minutes left in this half. They're only down 2 goals. They could easily cut this deficit, draw the game, maybe even get a equalizer to a winner if they play their cards right. And great defense in the midfield from Christian Nays. I saw Christian in the training room today, Steven. He seemed to be heating his right calf. Do you know what happened to him?
I don't. I think he might have gotten a little roughed up last week. So we'll see here what Christian can do. It looks like he's been having a great game so far. He got the first goal.
And you see Mitch Rossi over on the sideline limping around. Looks like he either got stepped on or rolled his ankle. He not feeling the effects of whatever just happened to him. He's not too thrilled with that, but he's going to walk it off. He's going to be all right. Free kick for the Raiders.
In a game like this, Joe, you almost have to notice that and take out Mitch because you don't want to risk any further injury in a game where you're in control. Ball going to trickle through to the Falcons goalie.
Michael Persinger scooping that up, looking to send it forward. Big punt, getting to midfield, looking for number 9 down on the sideline. Kyle Dythorn having a good game tonight. Luis Castaneda in the midfield trying to control the ball. Back to Castaneda on the sideline, keeps it in, but Scott Ryan takes the ball away very nicely for the Raiders. Sends forward to Harrison Thrasher, who puts it out of bounds, and it's going to be a a Regis Jesuit throw-in. But they'd like to bring on their subs first, and we have Cyrus Bibahani and Luis Hernandez on for Michael Mizgala and Scott Ryan.
So Trey Ahern here to take for the Raiders. Raiders, I think if you're the Raiders, Joe, you almost just want a quick goal right here just to say, all right, we're done. And so you can maybe relax a little because being this tense late in the game is no fun.
Right, you are. They think they kind of like not to have to keep the gas pressed all the way down, maybe turn on cruise control. Dangerous defense from Connor Walsh trying to slide and get that ball out. Completely missed. And had that player been a few steps forward, he would have struck it and it would have been a goal.
And dangerous but good. I know it looked like Connor Walsh missed, but he actually deflected that back towards the goal. Goal for the Falcons. Drew Schmidt there just kind of caught out of position with all those deflections, couldn't really see the ball. And all of a sudden, we have a 1-goal game, Drew. Excuse me, Joe.
And I don't think there's much Drew could have done about that. He's reacting to every single deflection because that ball was right on the 6, right in his face. As a goalkeeper, you're taught to stand there. But when it's so close to you, there's not much you can do. You just got to react to every single ball and hope you get there the time it comes through to you. And we have number 9, Adam Ania checking in for the Raiders. Referee making them restart the game because Adam Ania wants to come on for Kyle Weatherby. Kyle Weatherby, for the short time he was in, played very well, Steven.
He did, and he's a very tenacious player. Almost a Connor Walsh-like player, just goes after everything. That's always nice to see. Joe, I really think neither of these goals have been Drew Schmidt's fault. I really think we could see him starting next week.
I think we will. The first one was a penalty kick, and you can't really ask much from your goalie, but just, get in that net and hope you go the right direction. And that second one, he just had to react so many times there wasn't much he could do either. And we have a 1-goal game with 10 minutes left in the second half. This game was within reach of the Falcons if they won it.
And we'll see if they can keep their foot on the gas, Joe. The Falcons really coming back here, scoring these 2 goals within about 10 minutes. I don't know the exact timing. I know it's within 10. So it might have been within 5, actually, now that I think about it.
And it's going to be a big clearance from the Raiders. Luis Hernandez trying to control the ball in the midfield. Funny bounce on that and goes right past his head. Can't get there. Luis Castaneda controlling in the midfield, looking to do something with it. Takes a strong shot from 35 yards out. Puts it wide of the mark, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders. Another very spirited strike from Luis Castaneda out from the midfield.
And very spirited indeed. I just actually saw the Highlands branch coach do a face palm. So we'll see if Castaneda stays in for much longer. I do like his spirited strikes, Joe, but in a game like this, they aren't helpful.
They're good to see. He's got the right idea. He's putting it pretty well placed. He just needs to either get closer or get it on frame.
So we'll see here. Castaneda controlling in the midfield. looking for a through ball to nobody, and Muniz just going to let that trickle out for a goal kick.
I like that hustle from Matt Muniz, watching that ball go out of bounds and going back to get it, pardon me. And Drew Schmidt's going to take his time lining up this goal kick so substitutes can come on. We have Ian Sheldon in for Harrison Thrasher. And hopefully, you see Ian Sheldon come back in. You think we're going to be looking for some goals?
I definitely think the Raiders want a goal. You never want to continue a game with this little time left with a 1-goal lead, because that 3 points can vanish into 1 point ever so quickly.
It could vanish into 1 or it could vanish into none, and Highlands Ranch could come away with the 3.
And that's very, very real possibility that if I told you that about 5 minutes ago, you'd be like, yeah, right, Steven.
And here we have Christian Nays looking for something on the offense. Goal from Christian Nays. Absolutely beautiful goal. Looks like it deflected off of the goalie's hand and into the goal. Looks like he struck it with the outside of his foot. That was absolutely magnificent for the Raiders. Just what they needed.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Struck with the outside of his foot, sneaking it right inside the post. And absolutely magnificent from Christian Nays. And that's going to give the Raiders some breathing room with 8:29 left to go.
We've been talking about spirited strikes all night, and that was a spirited strike on the ball. And be restarted by the Falcons, looking to send it deep down the sideline, thrown away, and going to be Raiders ball. Trey Ahern taking it, looking for something, taking his time. There appears to be a referee stoppage of play. Luis Castaneda is down and injured. Looks like they're going to have to take him out. Appears to be his hamstring. He's favoring his upper leg. And on for Luis Castaneda, we have number 8, David Melkonian.
So really hate to see a player like Castaneda go off. He's such a fundamental part of this Highlands Ranch team from what we've seen, Joe.
That is true. And Trey Ahern, big throw-in. Not quite to the Raiders. Falcons are going to look to send it forward. Connor Walsh going to track that ball, head it to his goalie, Drew Schmidt, who's going to control it very nicely and take his time.
And Drew Schmidt really communicating with Walsh there. You could hear him yell to Walsh to head it back. So great communication there. And now inside 8 minutes, if you're the Falcons, you got to start getting desperate.
You're the Falcons, not so much desperate, just get those 2 quick goals like you just got beforehand. There's 7.5 minutes left in this game. You got your 2 goals in 5. You can do it again.
That is true. I guess desperate was the wrong word choice there, Joe. I think more spirited would be the correct word choice.
Absolutely. And just in case you haven't heard, RJ Voice does have a Twitter. We update all of the games, football, soccer, anything that we are at. We give you live tweet updates. It's at RJ_voice. Follow that, and you'll get all the updates if you can't tune into this game.
So we'll see here what the Falcons can do running down the side.
And it's going to be Adam Ania controlling the ball on the sideline, looking to send it up with his legs, just absolutely legging it. Number 10 for the Zach Moss absolutely hustled that ball down and won it back, sends it forward. Drew Smith's going to control it. You think he's a little upset that he just did all that hustle, 65-yard full-out sprint, win the ball, and then just send it forward?
I think he'd be upset at himself, because when you just give something away like that after working for it for, as you said, 50, 60 yards, you've got to be disappointed in yourself. I mean, there's really for nothing if you look back at it.
But it's good to see that he's making those plays. Hopefully they'll turn out correct for him at the later date. And we're going to have a free kick for the Falcons. And in case you haven't found the RJ Voice on the Twitter, you can also find the Boys Division Soccer page at RJHSBD Soccer. Follow them. They'll also give you live tweet updates about the games and how the season's going. And really, we're just all over these social networking sites here at Regis.
And we really are. And I think you got to move with the social media, Joe. I know it's making it a lot easier for you, and technology is just fantastic. I know technology is making this possible right here. So always tune in and ask us or send us a question. on the Twitter page, and we'll be able to answer it for you about our technology and where we have events going on.
And Zach Moss is going to send that ball out on the sideline, going to be a Raider throw-in. The fans letting the ball kids have a little lip. I don't agree with that, but I guess as a ball boy you should be ready, and I guess they weren't. So, but game's going on now, so it's all right.
So we'll see here. Lang and Durf are going to be able to clear it to Ian Shelton, who can't quite control. Inside 5 minutes now. And they're just going to give it back to Regis. Trey Ahern trying to clear. Mass not able to control. Trey Ahern going to clear it. Back at center for Velasquez.
And winding down in the second half, we have 4.5 minutes. Now it's desperation or crunch time for this Falcon offense. They got 4 minutes to put up 2 goals, if not 3, on this Raider defense, who has proven very strong tonight.
And you're going to need some FIFA-like video game play here, Joe, if you're going to come away, especially with 3 points and even 1 point if you're the Falcons, because they really just – you're inside 4 minutes now, Joe, and you only have 2 goals. So definitely the Falcons probably looking to use the X button a little more and get some deep balls.
Absolutely. And we got Langendorfer trying to clear the ball out in the midfield, tussle for possession. And Connor Walsh getting his head to it. And here comes the card for Connor Walsh. Referee showing it to him. And Connor Walsh just disagrees. He's trying to explain his case, plead his case, and the referee having none of it. As in high school, if you get a card, you have to come out. No matter what, you can come right back in, but you have to be subbed at least once when you get that yellow card. And Connor Walsh absolutely disagrees with that call.
So we'll see here. Manager Rick Wolf giving him words of encouragement. And you need to put this in, Joe, if you're the Falcons.
Absolutely. This is practically a must-score situation. You're 45 yards out. You've got practically every single player except for your goalie, a defender, and your free kick taker taking it forward. And they don't. Ian Sheldon's going to try to control it. And that was a waste. I think that was a waste,
Yeah,
Steven.
I really think it was. As the Raiders clear it here. Ian Shelton looking for it, giving it off to Adam Mania. Adam Mania trying to find a through ball. Here goes Ian Shelton running faster than a cheetah. He has the ball. He's going to go down inside the box. He's going to wait and control. Oh.
Double
challenge.
teaming Ian Sheldon. Very good idea. He's just walking around in that box out there. Sent to Mitch Rossi. One touch, and he sends that to the moon. That reminds me of Sergio Ramos' penalty kick last year in the UEFA Finals.
It really does. And that one just, wow, really high. I believe that went over the football goalpost.
Yeah, it's going to be a goal kick for the Falcons. Sent forward and right back to their back four. Launching it forward again, playing these really big through balls, looking for something. Jack Flynn, dangerous play there, and the referee definitely not happy with what he just saw. He's either going to show him the card or talking to and another injured player for the Falcons. This is not a good thing.
So we'll see. It looks like he's going to stay on. He'll be all right. If you're the Falcons, you got to be getting concerned. Your team's getting beat up out there.
And with 2.5 minutes left, we're going to have Connor Walsh checking in for the Raiders. And this seems to be a must-score distance and situation for these Falcons. They're much closer than they were last time, and they got a much better chance at scoring this shot.
I think with the reactions of Drew Schmidt, though, you almost have to chip it over and hope for a deflection header. Drew Schmidt is just too good of a goalie to really try and score from this. I mean, granted, you do have a favorable distance. You're only about 25 yards out. But Drew, I think you almost need to look for a quick deflection. I imagine he'll shoot, though.
Very big wall for the Raiders. A 5-man wall to Luis Castaneda, and he's going to line it up, run over it, pass back to Castaneda, and he's going to chip it, looking for the top right corner, just wide of the mark, and that was a beautiful set piece from the Highlands Ranch Falcons.
That was great, and Castaneda actually out with an injury, Joe. That was Mass that Velasquez was working with. But absolutely fantastic there. Raiders had nobody on that side to guard him, and if he could have put that on net, that certainly would have been a goal as we trickle inside 2 minutes. Raiders clearing, and now you need desperation time for the Raiders, going to Christian Nays, who has 2 goals on the night.
And you think the Raiders are just going to start launching these balls forward, looking to just, kill the clock and really just try to solidify their victory and their 3 points. As of right now, I would say this game's going to end 4-2 in favor of the Raiders, but, you never know what happens in this beautiful game of soccer.
That ball trickling out of the stadium, and I can see it rolling way down a hill, down onto McNichols Green, so that might take a couple days to get back up to the field, but Raiders just clearing it and not letting anything here with a minute 30 left on the clock.
And it's going to be a throw-in for the Regis Jesuit, for the Highlands Ranch Falcons. Sending it down the sideline, kicked out of bounds. Going to be another throw-in for the Falcons. Sending it deep this time, cut out by Connor Walsh back in from his yellow card substitution. And out of bounds again, Highlands Ranch throw-in.
Raiders just ticking down the clock, making sure that Highlands Ranch only has time for a goal. So we'll see here. I imagine Raiders won't go for another goal, but if the opportunity presents itself, almost offsides there. Great work by Joe. I can't remember his last name, Joe. What was it? Langendorfer. Great save by Drew Schmidt.
Drew Schmidt just eating that ball up. Great save from him. And we've seen a lot of textbook saves from him tonight. Big boot of a punt, making it to the opposite 40. Really just Drew Schmidt's playing very well in his first start as a goalie during his senior year tonight.
He really has, Joe, and I imagine we'll see him starting in future games. He's done so well. Clock now inside 30 seconds. Joe, as we trickle down, who is your player of the game?
My player of the game for the Raiders, the man of the match for the whole match, in fact, would be Christian Nays. He's been playing very well up front. Got a goal that actually, I would say, was the deciding factor in this game, Stephen.
And for the Falcons, Joe? And
Luis Castaneda would be my player of the game for the Falcons. He had a magnificent game tonight.
That's our final buzzer. I'm going to agree with you with Castaneda for the Falcons player. But I think for the Raiders players, I have to go with Mitch Rossi. He had so many good touches. I know he didn't get a goal or even an assist, but he was so effective in the midfield and controlling the ball that I think he receives recognition, along with Drew Schmidt. The 2 goals he let in really had nothing he could do about those. So clean, really as close to a clean sheet as you can get in my book, Joe.
Absolutely. It was just an overall great game of soccer. Thanks for tuning in tonight to live.regisjesuit.com for this matchup between the Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Highlands Ranch Falcons.
And we hope to see you all Thursday from Guy Gibbs Gymnasium, where the girls' varsity volleyball team will be taking on Chaparral High School. And Friday night against Douglas County here in Lou Kellogg Stadium for the football game, the homecoming game for the Regis Jesuit Raiders. So we definitely hope to see you back here from Lou Kellogg Stadium. I'm Steven Snyder with my co-commentator Joe Quigley, my producer Joe Quigley / Nick Valenti, and my cameraman Joey Bennell, Dean Hampers, who's been shadowing us and learning so much, and our Twitter man for the RJ Voice, Jose Shalit. I'm Steven Snyder signing off.